nappy head Millie back like a bad habit. And yes, this is the Nerd Boys exclusive. Talk to him, AK.
What up, y'all? AK for the Nerd Boys podcast. Check out that cereal review I just did. But fuck all that. We talking about video games.
Yo, so everybody want to talk about tier list. I'm not a tier list guy, but let's do a tier list. We're gonna do it for the OGs. Best consoles. You know, as you can see, we got the tiers. We got God tier.
I got gold on mine.
We got A tier. We got the underrated tier. We'll get to that later. We got C tier, and then we got trash. So let's get this.
My B tier is still B. Let me change that to underrated for you, so we can be on the same page. Keep talking.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're gonna base this off of what 2-3 things: game catalog and the impact they had in the video game genre in the community.
Mm-hmm.
The big impact. That's how we're gonna rate these things. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So first and foremost, let's get this one out the way. I'm skipping a few of these. I'm going straight to Dreamcast. That's God tier. That's God tier. I don't care what none of y'all say. That game is God tier.
It was ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for Dreamcast, a lot of the innovations we have today in gaming wouldn't be here, in my opinion. Plus, it has God tier games like Jet Ground Radio. What is it? Sonic Adventures 2. What else? Power Stone. Capcom vs. Marvel, the definitive edition. Anything else, AK?
I'm looking up the launch games right now. People looking at me. I'm looking up the launch games for the Dreamcast. It was Power Stone, Sonic Adventure, something called Blue Stinger, House of the Dead 2, Trick Style.
Yeah, I forgot about House of the Dead. Go ahead, Trick Style. What else?
Something called Expendable. I'm gonna just go into this IGN article real quick. Power Stone, Mortal Kombat Gold, Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Soul Calibur was a beast on that system.
Sonic Adventure, Expendable, Blue Stinger, Trick Style, Hydro Thunder, Tokyo Extreme Racer, Flag to Flag, something called Grand Prix 2. I'm skipping over the non-relevant ones. House of the Dead.
Said that, but it don't even matter. It's God tier.
NFL 2K, NFL Blitz, Ready to Rumble.
It's God tier.
Yeah,
plus,
that launch shit was just ridiculous. Like just off the sheer, that basically the best launch window ever. You got to put it in God tier. Plus, it was the first system to go online comprehensively. Because I know people gonna be like, "Oh, you was Sega channel on the Genesis." Yeah, I know, but like as far as like playing people online, Skies of Arcadia, thank you very much. Yeah, Dreamcast is definitely going in the go.
Plus, it had the Tamagotchi memory card. So
what were they called? VMUs?
I don't know, but it was the shit.
I only used them for the Child Garden. So are we gonna start from the beginning?
Yeah, we're gonna start from the beginning now. So the PSP, where would you put that?
Are we counting the hacks? Because the hacks is really what made PSP everybody wanted one.
Nah, let's not count the hacks.
We'll say this. I'll say this. The PSP, from what it was and the fact that it was able to fight is what it was. I'll put it in. You can either put it in underrated or A. I don't want to go no higher than A.
We'll put it as top underrated for now, depending on what we got. We'll put a high underrated, close to A tier. I never really had one. I had a Vita, but from what I've seen, PSP has. No, I did have one because it had Crisis Core on it.
Yep.
And Crisis Core was shit. So, we'll
it had some handheld. It had some handheld God of War games. That was Heat, Crisis Core, Dissidia.
I forgot about it. Had Dissidia. Oh yeah, no, this is A tier.
What was that one Kingdom Hearts game that was exclusive to the PSP for the longest?
Earth by Sleep.
Yeah. One of the best Kingdom Hearts games ever. So yeah. Let's put it in A tier. Not to mention you can hack it and be playing Super Nintendo games and shit on it.
Now, the original Xbox.
Ooh.
I'm putting it in C.
Yes, I agree.
I'm putting it in C. I know a lot of Halo fanboys are gonna be mad. Why suck my dick. It's a C tier system. I mean, it was kind of innovative.
Literally, the only thing you could say about the game, the Xbox was the
Jet Set Radio and Halo. Jet Set Radio, 4GT, Halo, and then that trash ass not Earthworm. What's that game with the aliens?
Destroy All Humans.
No, Toe Jam and Earl.
That was on the Genesis.
No, they had one that was on Xbox. It was the launch title, and it was bad.
Oh, it was
very
booty.
bad.
Now I'm about to say the Toe Jam and Earl. I remember it was on the Genesis.
No, yeah, we'll get to that later. But PS3.
We ain't gonna do the TurboGrafx 16.
That's next.
Oh, mine has the TurboGrafx in front of the PS3. So we'll put PS3.
Yeah, PS3. I want to put it in C. I want to put it in C so bad. I'm gonna put it in C. You might have it differently. I'm
gonna be different. I'm gonna put it in underrated because of the free online. But I can't do much more than that because that whole PSN outage shit.
Man, that's what put it in C for me. I remember going 2 weeks. It was like a week or two where
that was months that we couldn't play motherfucking games online.
I forgot why Anonymous even did it, but I remember it was a video. I don't know if you remember when it was a white dude making videos. He was calling PSN every day, going in on them. Yeah,
it was months we couldn't play that shit. And then I remember because then they gave us Infamous a month of PS Plus for free, and the first Little Big Planet for free.
Now this system, I know a lot of y'all gonna probably be mad. It gave us good games. Look, let's see what The Last of Us, The Last of Us. What's that one game? Uncharted.
God of War 3. Infamous. No, I can't put this in C, bro. I can't. PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
It's C. No, it's underrated.
I'll put it in underrated. I'll say underrated / B.
Persona Arena.
Yes, exactly, bro. Like I can't put that in C.
4 Golden Edition. Oh no, yeah, it's underrated. It's hard, but that outage just makes me want to put it in C so bad.
Exactly.
Exactly. Man. So we got the 16-bit. I never heard of it, so it's trash.
The TurboGrafx 16 literally is known for having the first. It's the first system to be 16-bit, and it has a few notable games. None that I can name off the top of my head, but that's about it. I'll put it in C. It ain't trash because it started the innovation. Trash is reserved for them special few, and it's gonna be a few that I'm gonna just automatically throw in trash. But yeah,
I don't know it's so trash. You know what? I should make another tier. I throw it in C. Just C tiers is either they're not that good or I just don't know about them, so I can't give valid information on them. So what's next, AK?
The Atari 2600.
That's God tier.
That's God tier. Because consoles, it was the first console. It would not be. Consoles would not exist without goddamn TurboGrafx. Without 2600.
It's got to be top of God tier. That is the grandfather. That is the father of all gaming.
Your daddy, son.
Next to the Odyssey, that is the father. That's the mother. Odyssey is the father. On Atari 2600 is the mother.
Yep, it was the first one with like removable cartridges. I mean, granted, it had it was part of the reason why the video game industry crashed back in the 70s. But yeah, it's definitely a God tier system. A lot of old heads still love the Atari to this day.
Shout out to the angry video game nerd.
Exactly, for putting me on.
Okay, so Nintendo Switch. Oh man, it's early, but I'll
put it in A. I'll put it in A.
I'm gonna put it in S tier. I'm gonna tell you why. It's the first. It's going to be It is a revolutionary console. It took what the Vita wanted to do and did it better.
True. I get that.
It took what the Vita wanted to do and did it better. It is literally the link between. I have a choice now. I can take my console on the go, or I can hook it up to the TV if I want to. And it's a reasonable price.
Yeah, but here's the thing that for me that's pulling it back. No party chat. It's 2020. That's unacceptable.
It is it's a app. It's an app.
It's an app on the phone that you have to install. I'm doing all that. I just might as well jump on Discord. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I don't really care for is the fact that the Wi-Fi is no built-in US. It is no built-in Ethernet port. You have to buy that separately. Not to mention the Joy-Con drift, which was a real issue. I had to send my son's controllers off because the Joy-Cons would literally just start moving on their own. Like if you're playing a shooter, you'll just drift to the left or right without no type of input into it, just because they were poorly made. And then they were like $70 for replacements. Like, no, I can't put it in S tier just off of how many flaws this has. I'll put it in A.
For its flaws, it got too many good games. Mario Odyssey, the new Legend of Zelda. It's even taking games that we already played and bringing them into a handheld form like DBZ Fighters. Even though I don't play it, still got to give it they props up for that. BB Tag, shit like that is crazy. As
much as I don't want to say Fortnite, that's the definitive portable Fortnite.
Yeah, so it's man.
I'll put it in A. It's definitely above the PSP for me, but I can't put it in S.
I'm gonna give it S, but it's gonna be like at the back of S once it's all said and done.
Okay.
GameCube. I'm gonna put this in underrated. I'm gonna put it in underrated.
It had so much potential.
I'm gonna put it in underrated. Do I want to put it in underrated? Because it has some great games. GameCube's
going in A for me. It's gonna be above the PSP for me. But that was my. I have a little bit of nostalgic bias towards the GameCube because that was literally my system for like most of my childhood. Metal Arms, freaking Turtles in Time was on that joint with the 4 controllers. You had Smash Brothers, Kirby Air Ride,
Marvel Nemesis.
That Naruto game, Clash of the Ninja 2.
Luigi's Mansion. One of the greatest games of all time. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's underrated, but it's Nintendo's fault it's underrated.
Plus of them damn proprietary CDs that nobody wanted to print their stuff on. Yeah. And they had less storage than a
so that falls on
disc. That's Nintendo's fault.
Because the controller is one of the greatest controllers of all time. It probably is the greatest controller of all time.
Because they still using it to this day.
So
I'm not playing Smash for nothing besides a GameCube controller.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna leave it at underrated. AK got it at A tier. Neo. Is this the Neo Geo? No, it's not the Neo Geo. What's this shit called? The handheld Sega trash. It's trash.
No. It's not trash.
Trash.
Okay. It was one of the first fucking handhelds to combat the it's not called the Nomad. What was it called? Game Gear. It's the Game Gear. So it was one of the first people to actually fight up with the Game Boy, which was phenomenal at the time. It had a backlight on the games like years before Game Boy had a backlight in them weird ass.
Guess how big the batteries had to be for you to use them.
You had to have like 8 fucking AA batteries.
Right, it's doing too much. It was cost inefficient, so it's trash. Off of that alone,
I'll throw it in C. I never actually owned one myself, but I'll throw it in C.
Like even the gaming catalog on there is trash. I don't care what none of y'all say. That catalog is trash. So we moving forward.
64.
64.
S. Easy.
S tier. Easy S tier.
That's easy. No debate.
It's not godlike. It's not godlike.
Yeah, there was a couple of things holding it back.
I'm gonna tell y'all now. Donkey Kong 64 was a trash game, but it's a trash game that we love. That shit was trash.
Ooh, but you gonna get flamed because of that one, boy.
Man, no, it's a trash good game. I don't know how to explain.
Next thing you're gonna say is Diddy Kong Racing when all that good to you.
It wasn't.
What? Bruh, who dance is this?
Hold on. Before we move on, like, share, subscribe. Leave this in the comment. Diddy Kong Racing or Mario Kart?
I mean, that's not fair though.
It is fair on that system.
No, it's not. It's not fair. Mario Kart 64 literally is the grandfather of all kart games. Every kart game strives to be either better or at least comparable to Mario Kart 64. That's not fair.
When we get further ahead, I'll tell you what the grandfather of Mario Kart is.
I mean, I know it was on Super Nintendo, but that was trash.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Mario Kart on Super Nintendo was trash.
Anyway, it's S tier. It has the most defining game of all time in Super Mario 64.
And if for all you shooter heads, if it wasn't for GoldenEye, it would not be no Call of Duty.
You wouldn't have multiplayer the way it is now.
Wouldn't be no Halo. Wouldn't be no as far as like console goes, that was the granddaddy of shooters on console.
Let's talk about Ocarina of Time. Let's talk about Majora's Mask, which I think is better than Ocarina of Time.
That's debatable.
It's debatable. Let's talk about one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Kirby game of all time. Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. Like that, man.
Smash Brothers, my guy.
Smash Brothers, the original Smash Brothers. Let's talk about Gex. For the old head, Gex. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
The Spider-Man game that was on the 64. It was also on the PS1. It was also on the PS1, but
they are getting knocked down because they did come out with that Superman game.
Was that really their fault though? It was third party.
I guess an L.
Oh, that's a huge L. It's a huge L, but I don't necessarily know if that's
Star Fox.
Star Fox, yeah. How the fuck we forget about Star Fox?
Ooh, this might be a god tier.
Turok.
Oh man, the game catalog. This might it's an S tier. It's S.
It's S. Ain't nobody gonna be mad about it being put in S.
You know what's really holding it back? That goddamn Party City controller. What the fuck was we thinking?
Mario Party!
Oh yeah. Mario Party 1, 2, and 3. That might be the background music on here. I don't know yet. But moving on.
The NES.
God tier.
God tier.
That is God tier. And you know why it's God tier?
It saved the video game industry.
If it weren't for the NES, we wouldn't be having video games right now.
Period. I mean, we probably still have games on the PC, but as far as consoles go, probably wouldn't be no consoles if it wasn't for the NES. The NES was so popular, literally every video game system after that was called Nintendo all the way up until like PS1 days. If you had a Genesis, 9 times out of 10, your mama was calling it the Nintendo.
So, let's get into it. Excuse me. Let's talk about the games. First ever showing of Mario in a platformer style.
Super Mario.
The introduction of Link.
Yep.
Mario 2.
Final Fantasy 1.
Final Fantasy 1. Kirby. What else we got?
Contra.
Metroid.
Punch Out.
Oh, I forgot about Punch Out.
Star Fox.
Star Fox. Was it on that?
Yes, no, Star Fox was on NES.
I might have to look that up.
It was on the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo. I'm fucking up.
It's a shit ton of games. We can keep going for days. Castlevania. Ooh, what else? There's a shit ton of games. We can keep going for days.
Yeah.
The introduction of Rob.
The NES literally has probably, if not the, because it's hard to, I can't tell which one has more games between it and the PS2. And we'll get to PS2. It's like those two have like some of the best video game libraries of all time.
Facts. What's this next one? What is this? I can't tell.
I think that's it's one of them consoles. That's the CDI.
Trash. We ain't
just for them Zelda games and that Hotel Mario game.
Trash.
And the backstory behind that shit is so fucking funny, bro. For people go ahead.
No, I'm saying I can't see very well on these things. So AK, if y'all hear me say AK, what's this? He'll let me know. But go ahead.
For people who don't know, yeah, they small as fuck. I ain't gonna hold you. The CDI literally was a fuck you to Sony. For people who don't know, Sony and Nintendo at one point were talking about being partners in the console industry. They were working on a CD add-on for the Super Nintendo called the PlayStation. But what Nintendo didn't let people know was they also was working with Philips, hence the CDI, and Philips had a better price. So what they ended up doing was signing a contract with Philips and leaving Sony by themselves. And Sony said, fuck it, we're gonna make our own console. Hence the birth of the PlayStation 1. Literally, the only reason why this shit exists is because it was a cheaper version of the PlayStation, and it has hands down the 3 worst Zelda games of all time, and one of, if not the worst Mario game of all time on there. And that's literally the only thing it's known for.
So, this the Sega Master System, ain't it?
No, that's Genesis.
Oh, this the Genesis?
Yeah, that's the Genesis. That's how it looked in Europe.
Ooh. S tier.
S tier, easy. Streets of Rage, Earthworm Jim.
Where would you put this over the N64? It's over the Switch.
It's definitely over the Switch.
Would you put over the N64? I'm putting it over the N64.
I would too. Just off of nostalgia.
My childhood, yo. Vector Man.
Ooh, Shining Force.
Shining Force, the good Mortal Kombats.
The definitive version of Mortal Kombat 1.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Castlevania Bloodlines.
Ooh, Contra Hardcore.
Mm-hmm. Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. Oh, and let's not talk about the Sonics.
Oh God! Don't get me started about Sonic, bro. Don't get me started about Sonic, bro.
Legendary.
Literally, nobody was touching motherfucking Nintendo until the Sega Genesis stepped on the scene. For like a good 2, 3, 4 years, Sega Genesis had the video game industry, and then they fucked up. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
One more thing for my FGC heads: if you play on pad, thank Sega Genesis for that.
That 6-button pad.
6-button pad. That's why we got Fighting Game Pass the way it is.
Yep.
So I don't know what this is.
The Ouya, it was a crowd-funded console that literally only played indie games.
Trash.
Yes, trash.
PS1. A tier.
S.
A tier.
S.
The reason why I say it's A tier is because them long ass loading times.
I give you that.
Ridiculous.
I give you that. But the PlayStation 1 was the first time since Sega anybody had any type of competition with Nintendo, because let's be honest, nobody was really checking for the Saturn.
Mm-hmm. Facts. It's still A to me.
Nigga, Tekken 3?
It's A to me, man. The catalog.
Final Fantasy?
If you lost your memory card, it was a wrap.
Same thing could be said from the Rumble packs.
Here's the problem, because you had games already allowing for autosave on the system or on the cartridge, and I'm pretty sure the CDs.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Crash 1, 2, and 3.
It's probably on top of A. It's high tier A, low tier S. Is that good?
I'm putting in the S for me. It's going right behind the 64 just because I didn't own one when I was a kid, but I definitely played one at my cousin's house all the time.
I own one, and it was always frustrating. Load times, especially on Tekken 3.
I give you that.
Load times and fucking saving the game, and especially when Metal Gear 2 came out, you had to unplug the fucking controller to plug it in the second. Man, fuck that game. Yo. What's this? What's next? What's
the
this?
Sega Master System? Basically, Sega's 8-bit system. It's not underrated. I'll put it in C.
Yeah, C tier.
It's above the turbo graphics, but under the Xbox.
Yeah, and we don't really need to get into that.
It was a noble effort. While Nintendo pretty much had the game on lock. Think of them as
8 times the bits.
Exactly.
Right. There's only 8 though.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the next one? What's up next?
Sega Saturn.
Trash.
It's not trash. It had some of the best of versions of 2D games. Like it had the definitive.
If it was CD, they had the CD port. CD port will probably be A tier because I thought
the Saturn was a CD based console.
I think it is, but Saturn had that tier. No, it is.
Yeah, it is.
So
the 64 was the last console based off of cartridges.
Yeah, so underrated?
Underrated. We can put it in underrated. Just because it had some of the best versions of X-Men versus Street Fighter, and it had
Sonic CD. And Sonic CD.
No, Sonic CD was on the Sega CD Genesis add-on.
Oh, was it? Oh man.
But it didn't even have a Sonic game on here. They had that Sonic R. That was it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely underrated then because it got that Super
Sonic Racing. Yeah.
So I'm putting this over the PS3.
I put it under the PS3.
I'll put it over the PS3. Fuck that, because it got the Game Boy. God tier.
Granddaddy of all handhelds.
Where would you put it in God tier? Would you put it over the Saturn? Because that's the only thing you can really put it over.
You mean the Dreamcast?
The Dreamcast, yeah.
Yeah, I would put. So how do you have yours set up? Because I got the Atari, the NES.
I got the Atari, the NES, the Dreamcast, and then I'm probably gonna put the Game Boy in front of the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I'll put the Game Boy ahead of the Dreamcast
because that gave us so many good games.
Pokemon.
We got to count that as the color too. You have to count it as the color. So yeah, Pokemon. Yep.
Pokemon,
Zelda Seasons, and
Oracles, and Tetris.
Tetris, that Mario game that was on there.
Yeah, it was just off the sheer fact it let you put it was the
Wario Land.
Yeah,
that's God tier.
God tier. Xbox One.
I'm honestly, as an Xbox fan, I'm gonna put it in trash tier.
No, it's not trash.
It's trash tier. It's a reason why I'm saying it's trash tier.
Go ahead, explain.
Because they let so many exclusives get away from them. Like even what's going on in the back end, it doesn't make up for what they did by letting Sony eat up all those exclusives. If they would have been dead center, I would honestly put it as an underrated console. But because they did that and then they failed to deliver with Xbox exclusives on their own, it's got to go to trash tier because we're playing games that we can play on any other system.
I understand. And I'm going to put it in C tier, at the top of C tier, actually. And here's why I'm going to say that. The Xbox Game Pass is, and I've always been a proponent of this, Xbox One is the console for people who want a game on a budget. And here's the reason why I say that. Xbox Game Pass alone, the fact that you can download them motherfuckers, the fact that they always have that Game Pass on sale, the fact that you can they was one of the big proponents of crossplay. They was crossplaying with the goddamn Switch. Like I've always said, when it came to PS4 versus Xbox, game wise, PS4. Feature wise, I gotta go with the Xbox One. I can't put it in trash just because of that.
I'm gonna put it okay.
And I talk shit about the Xbox all the time. I talk shit about the Xbox all the time. I'll put it in C.
It's gonna be at the back of C.
It's gonna be in the front of C for me
because it's consumer friendly. But I still can't forgive it for letting those exclusive games go, especially with the exclusive games they brought out. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you, what exclusive games did they really have on the 360?
Bleeding Edge, that shit is terrible.
I mean, on the 360. Before that, they had Halo, Gears, and Forza on the 360. That was it.
We're gonna get to the 360 though.
You're right.
We're gonna get to the 360. Virtual Boy trash.
Just off the shit fact, it's bottom of trash. At the bottom of the dumpster. Just off the shit fact, it only had 16 games. The shit wasn't portable, and it could give you seizures. Trash.
Trash. PC.
Go ahead and say your controversial shit, and then I'm gonna go.
I was gonna put it in trash tier, but I'm gonna put PC in underrated.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in underrated. I'm gonna put it at the top of underrated. PC does take a lot away from consoles, but the fact that you can build your own PC, and as long as your component is compatible with your computer, you can always just replace the parts. That is consumer friendly as hell. Plus, it has the game the greatest game of all time. Well, the second greatest game of all time, because the greatest game of all time is fucking GTA 5. And League. And fucking League of Legends. And it's the most played in Fortnite. You can't take that away from PC. Console gamers, as a console gamer, I have a PC. You can't take that shit away from them, man. So I'm gonna put it at underrated. I'm gonna put it on underrated. And you know what? Also, to add to the fact that I can plug my controller up to my PC and still play my fighting games, it's definitely underrated. So,
and my reason is going to be completely different, and I'm putting it in S, top of S.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is mods, ROMs, emulators, fucking the fact that I'm not condoning this. The fact that a lot of the times you can get games for damn near cheap, if not free, from ye old Pirate Bay allegedly. And the fact that a lot of the times those dead games like Skullgirls, you can find
a community
on PC, damn near guaranteed. Games that are niche, super niche, you can always find a fucking community for it on PC. And here's the thing, you can play them old school, like them Third Strike and shit, and Marvel 2 and shit with Fightcade. I can still play people on that online. Off of shit like that, and for free. I don't have to pay to play online. I don't have to pay to play online. I can play with a controller if I want to. I can do VR if I want to. Once I get a comparable rig, I can keep upgrading. I don't have to start from scratch every fucking 5 years. Like, yo, PC is definitely S tier, top of S tier for me. And I don't even own a gaming PC right now.
I should have explained this earlier about PC. I mean, about underrated. Underrated isn't saying the system is bad per se. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of people don't understand, or they don't want to understand how good the system can be. Mm-hmm. So that's why I put PC at underrated. Mm-hmm. I think if people would actually vouch for it more, it'd definitely be an S tier. There's a lot of console players that say PC ain't shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I know you heard my Xbox in the back, but you know what I mean.
I mean, most of those console players are idiots and play 2K, Call of Duty, and Madden all the time. No, but that's not the only shit you play.
Yeah, true. Okay, so Wii U
trash. I own one. Trash.
It's not the bottom. It's mid tier trash.
It's top of trash. It's top of trash. It's definitely better than everything else that's in trash right now, but it's still trash.
For me, it's not, because remember I got the Sega system, the handheld Sega in there, so I say it's right before the end of trash, but it's trash.
Oh, mine is top of trash. The only thing I got in there is the CDI.
It had one of the better Mario games.
Which one was that?
Mario Wii U.
Oh yeah, that's that 4-player joint. Yeah, that was hype.
Mario game is good. We ain't even going. We can't even.
No, because like that game was just a remake of the one on the Wii.
But it was 4 players.
Yeah, it was 4 players on the Wii too.
And it had Yoshi.
You can ride Yoshi on the Wii U too, on the regular Wii.
Never mind, you going down. You going down.
The best games on that system was Splatoon's.
Well, now you gotta go back up because Splatoon, the introduction.
Pokken.
Okay, top of trash. Yeah, top of trash.
Breath of the Wild technically was on the Wii U before it was on the Switch.
Oh, what's the one that came out? Was it the Sky? What is it?
Skyward Sword, that was on there too.
Yeah, Skyward Sword. So
no, that was on the Wii, wasn't it?
It was one of them.
I think it was on the regular Wii. But aside from a few, and Mario Maker, shit.
It might have to jump up to C. Shit.
Yeah, it might have to jump up to C. It's a bottom of C.
Yeah, it's bottom of C. It
was the first game. It was the first Nintendo console you can play online with people too. No, the Wii. I forgot the Wii. It was trash. The bottom of C. It's the bottom of C. Barely not making it in trash.
Barely because of the catalog.
Yeah, I mean that was very few and far between, but they had some really good games.
Super Nintendo,
Sega Genesis.
I want to put this in God so bad.
It's going in God for me. No, that's the first console I ever owned.
It's a God tier system.
Top 3 best. Top 3 best. Fucking library of games of all time.
Super Mario RPG, Super Mario World,
Chrono
Kirby
Trigger,
All-Star, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI. Oh my God, no, that's God tier.
Breath
It's
of
bottom of God
Mana.
tier. It's bottom of God tier, but it's God tier.
That's God tier.
It's demigod.
It's a demigod. Yeah.
It ain't.
It's above
God,
S.
Like,
it's above S.
Man, oh man. Let's see.
Super Nintendo was amazing. I still can play. And the crazy part is, Super Nintendo games have aged so well. You can still play them bitches.
They're on the Switch.
You can still play them bitches and have fun, bro.
The Donkey Kongs. Oh, I forgot about the Donkey Kongs.
Fucking Link to the Past.
That game is still being sped run till this day.
Link to the Past.
Super Mario.
It had some of the best third-party games ever. Like that, there was so many different X-Men games, Turtles of Time, fucking
Final Fight.
Fucking
the best version of Street Fighter.
The best version of Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2. I know people give it a lot of shit because of the whole Mortal Kombat thing, but yo. Super Nintendo is a god system.
It's a god system. It's a god. Which one is this? The 3DS with the...
Yeah, that's the 3DS with the circle. I'll put that in A.
Yeah. We might as well put the other DS in there too, because it's kind of the same thing.
3DS over... Which one you put? The 3DS over
the 3DS is over the regular DS. But
yeah, I get that.
They're both A tier. So, what games we got out of that? Pokemon Platinum.
Ooh, Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
There's a bunch of Zelda and Mario games.
It's very innovative. It was very innovative from its time with the dual screens. So, I mean, it ain't really too much to talk about it.
It's a handheld.
Yeah, it's a handheld. It was great. It was great, and it held a charge for a long ass time.
Yeah, it did. You didn't have to charge your 3DS or your DS for at least damn near a week if you're not playing it for real. I'll be looking up and like, oh shit,
with a time system. The first handheld with a time system.
Yep.
So.
And the first handheld from Nintendo, at least, that you can jump online.
You jump online, you can download your games.
Your trading system with the DS, with GTS on Pokemon, that was a lifesaver.
The Wi-Fi system for handhelds, the first one to do it. Yeah, that was no, it's the second one to do it because PSP did it first. Yeah. So yeah, I got it. Would you put it above the PSP or behind the PSP?
I'll put it above the PSP. Both of them okay. Above the PSP.
Okay. Game Boy Advance.
That's an easy S tier.
Yeah. I wish they had the other one with the backlight.
You mean the SP?
Yep.
That's the one I had. The little little folded up joint. That's the one I had. I had the silver joint. I still got mine upstairs somewhere.
When it came to the Advance.
Some of the best Pokemon games ever made.
Yeah. Some of the best Pokemons, if not the best Pokemon games ever made. That's arguable. It had the 4 hats.
The link, the fact that you can link it up with the GameCube. It was a couple of games you could do that with.
Yeah, you can link it up with the GameCube. It was the first. I think that was one of the first handhelds that you could do that.
Yep.
I think it was the first handheld you could do.
I think that was one of the first handhelds you can actually use as a controller on its console.
And it was the first handheld that handled remakes properly.
And in fact, it was backwards compatible with all of your goddamn regular Game Boy games. You could pop a Game Boy Color game into a Game Boy Advance game and it will work. So off of that alone, I gotta put the DS over the 3DS because you could play Game Boy Advance game on the DS.
Over the 3DS?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. The Wii. I feel like this is underrated. I feel like for what it went to, how innovative it became.
It was.
With motion sensor.
It had some heat games on there too.
It started a trend. It started a trend with motion sensor.
One of the first games to have virtual console. So you can buy some of them old games. You putting it underrated?
It's between underrated or it's not a C. It's over trash and C. So it's either underrated or A.
I'm thinking about putting it in A. Bottom of A. Because it didn't really have no third party support like that. And the ones that they did have on there were trash. But it did have shit like No More Heroes and
yeah, that's why I'm putting it at the top of underrated because No More Hero,
Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Super Mario
one of the most played Zeldas of all time was on there. It's underrated, man. It's underrated.
I'm putting it at the bottom of A tier.
Now, PS4.
It's not an S tier, and it's not. I'll put it in A.
It's at the. Oh man, if I made a B tier, I'll put it at the top of C.
I can see that. I'm putting mine in A. I mean,
yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's winning the console war this generation, hands down. Yes, it had exclusive gaming. Yes, but what did it do that was innovative?
Nothing really.
It didn't do any. This generation, the only game that has been super innovative is the Switch, regardless of what anybody wants to say. The PS4
it did have some of the best games of
it did have some of the
this
best
decade,
games, which is why it's at the top of C, bottom of A. But it's not. It doesn't do enough for me. It's like, okay, I can play Spider-Man. Once I beat Spider-Man, and there's nothing else to do. God of War. Once I beat God of War, there's nothing else to do. And now gaming is on this huge, let's throw it back. Let's run it back and remake the game craze. So it's like you're not doing anything new to me. Graphics is graphic. Graphics upgrade within every generation. So if you're trying to bring up graphics, I'm like, okay, PC is still blowing PlayStation graphics out anyway. So it's like, it's not innovative enough for me, but it's not trash. And it's in high C. It's just, it's not innovative enough. Yes, the catalog is good, but it's not that. The system itself is not that great.
See, some of the exclusive on here are really good. Street Fighter, fucking, Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon, Persona, fucking a lot of the Call of Duty shit, even though I don't give a fuck about it coming to it early, which ain't nothing but just a pocket move. But if I was to actually tally my time, it'd probably be the system I spent most of my time on, probably next to the GameCube. I think I'm gonna put it slightly above the GameCube on A tier on mine.
Okay. I can see that. Like I said, I wouldn't mind if you put it in A. For me personally, it's C tier.
No, I understand. Okay. Because everything it can do, literally the Xbox can do, is just not. It doesn't have the fan base nor the games. That's literally the only thing holding the Xbox back.
Now, the Vita.
Underrated as fuck.
Underrated. It is so fucking underrated. It's going right behind the Wii for me. The Wii's at the top of underrated, and then right behind it is the Vita, and then right next to that is PC.
I got it. Mine's at the top of underrated because it was like, it's basically everything. It was trying to do everything the Switch was trying to do, being a portable PlayStation 3. That's what they was trying to do. But the thing about it is, it really didn't have no games worth. Unless you like Japanese RPGs, you really didn't have much to play on this Vita. I mean, there was exclusive like Uncharted, and then I think there was a God of War game on there. It might have been, I don't know, but like, I can't give it much. I can't go. Yeah. It's not worthy.
It had one of the best variations of the Sly Cooper remakes.
Yeah, Sly Cooper remakes, Jack and Daxter remakes was on there.
Yeah, it had the best iteration. So the game, it's not trash.
It was as for it when the time it came out, the graphics were amazing on that handheld.
It's just it didn't to me. It didn't get enough support. So we gonna leave it at that. Okay,
360.
We're down to the last two. 360 is going S tier.
Easy S tier.
Easy S tier. It's going top of S tier. It's almost godlike.
I think I might put that 360 above the PS1. Behind the 64.
Yeah, you got the PS1 in your S tier. So
behind the 64, above the PS1.
It's above. It's high S tier, low is demigod status. Again, why is it demigod status? A lot of y'all PlayStation fanboys are gonna be like, "Oh, you dick riding the 360." First of all, 360 won that console war. PlayStation took it at the end, but 360 won that console war.
More people had 360s than, especially when you were trying to find like people to play like Call of Duty and some third-party games. Everybody had a 360,
and that's where I was about to go to. If it wasn't for 360, all your esports shit wouldn't be that big because a lot of esports games
had 360. Yep,
evolved from the 360. So you had your Call of Duties. A lot of people don't tell you this. They weren't doing that shit on computer at first. They were doing it on 360. I remember specifically fighting games were played on 360.
Yep. Every time you went to Evo, when the 360 era, they were always played on the 360 over the PS3.
Always played on the 360. Nah, what's holding the 360 back? The Red Ring of Death. Hands down. That was the worst thing ever. But
and it really didn't have no exclusive games like that. That's why it fizzled out towards the end.
And then you have games like that are so underrated, like Lost Odyssey. It's such a fucking underrated RPG. It's top 5 RPGs of all time. In my opinion. That game is so good. I swear, if I get a fan base, I will play that game on my channel. That game is so fucking good. It's so underrated.
Party Chat.
Party Chat. It was the innovation of Party Chat. Yeah, PS4 had it too. I mean, PS3 had it to an extent, but it wasn't like 360.
360 came out a whole year before fucking PS3. Fuck out of here with that.
Then on top of that, the toxicity level that y'all bitch about now ain't had shit on 360.
Man, what? The 360 motherfucking lobbies were ridiculous.
Those were the most fun times in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 lobbies, and people talking shit.
Yep.
Man, the fuck is that in my house? Shit, I'm tripping.
Being called the N-word, saying somebody fucking my mom, being called the F-word.
Little Timmy now, he Big Tim now. What you talking about? But now we got the last system. PS2.
God tier.
Top 3 God tier. No questions asked.
Yep.
Best-selling system of all time.
Best-selling system of all time. Mine is right behind.
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Yes.
Before the anime came out.
Yes.
So, what else we got on there? We got some games. Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy 11. The first MMORPG to be played on console. Final Fantasy 12.
All of the definitive versions of Grand Theft Auto. And my queen, and the king favorite for me, San Andreas.
Talk to him, CJ.
Boy, if you didn't have a PS2 back in the day, you felt some type of way. I was one of those kids.
Of War.
Yes, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Oh,
Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, fucking Sly Cooper.
Like, oh my god, that game, it goes on. What up? Max Payne.
Yes.
What else we got? Hitman.
Yep. Def Jam.
Def Jam. What else?
NBA
Streets. NFL Streets.
Oh, Fight Nights.
Fight Nights. This is a god tier system. It is no question.
People were still buying PS2s until like in Venezuela, like it's still people buying PS2s because it's easier to buy a PS2 versus importing it something else.
God tier.
Easy.
God tier. Easy.
It's top 3 God tier. And you
can God tier.
It's not above the Atari just because Atari has the clout, but I wouldn't be mad at you for putting the PS2 over the NES, and I wouldn't be mad at you for putting the NES over the PS2. Mm-hmm. They are definitely interchangeable.
Yep. So, this is our list. This is our tier list.
Yep. Ours might look a little bit different, and if you want to see mine, you're going to have to come to the Nerd Boys Podcast channel.
Mm-hmm. Go over to Nerd Boys Podcast. We record every Saturday. Video drop every Monday.
Yep.
You want to see more content from me? Like, share, and subscribe. I do fighting games. I'm doing a run through of Last of Us before the other shit come out.
Watch our shit.
What he said. We're gonna be dropping. This is part 1. I meant to tell y'all that. We about to do part 2. We about to go record it after this. But other than that, it's been Nappy Head Millie. It's been AK. AK, say your goodbyes.
AK for the Nerd Boys podcast. Peace out and peace and chicken grease.
All right, Nerd Boys. Nappy Head Millie. Peace.